Hello,
Can
Jennifer.
you
How
hear
are
me?
you? Yeah,
Hi,
I can
I'm
hear
good.
you. Can you hear
How are
me
you?
correctly, Ria?
Yes.
Okay,
Maybe it's a
perfect.
little latency here, but still I can hear you.
A little bit better. Okay, perfect. I'm Albert from Metal Hammer Spain, magazine, website, and all these kind of things that exist today.
Mm.
And well, here we are to talk about the new album. Okay, well, sixth album, Break the Silence. And next February, it's just 11 years from the release of Songs of Love and Death. It's quite a lot of music. Six albums in just 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
L-
we love music, kind of, and writing songs. Yeah.
I say it because maybe it's usual for a young band. I guess it's the excitement of creating new music, as you said.
Yeah, I think so. And also it's nice to tell the people new stuff, and have some new songs that we can sing together on the concerts. And I think especially when it comes to every album, you see that there is some personal I would say growth that you can also every time spot somewhere. So it's funny because most of the time with previous albums, it felt like when we were promoting the album and already writing new songs, that it's like an old story. But this time, I think we found a theme that still feels fresh and kind of, yeah, like perfect for this time because communication, that is a very important thing, and the problems that we're facing right now in a world where we are hyper connected somehow,
Hmm.
but still don't feel like it. We feel totally like not being yeah, like unity somehow. We are divided in different kind of ways, and it's mostly like, yeah, black and white and no gray notes in between, and many opinions, and people are telling you, especially in the internet, a lot of opinions and not trying to understand the opinion of somebody else, just telling you because they want to put it out somewhere but not really want to discuss about it. So, and I think this is especially what we wanted to yeah, put into all of these songs, all of these problems that we're facing.
Let me start talking a little bit about you because since you were very young, you have been singing and music is your wall, certainly.
Hmm.
Appearing in several German TV shows, singing melodic and pop style, but with the years you have become an asset for the metal scene in Europe. When you did discover hard rock and heavy metal music, and when you did to become interested in them as a musician?
Hmm. That's not easy to say because in my very first band, that was not like in the music business, more like a children band that I had when I was 9 years old. We were already playing a lot of different genres. We also played AC/DC, but also Whitney Houston, some other pop or Amy Winehouse. But I was always open to every genre. Listening to everything, and this is what I was doing in my first band, especially. But of course, when you grow, you try things out and try to find out what is your thing. And then I found that in symphonic metal, I have the possibility to show a lot of different sides of me. So, showing some emotional, very small and quiet stuff, but also the powerful side of me. And this is why I was choosing this kind of music for me.
It's funny because let me explain something very
Hmm.
funny because in the last week, searching a little bit of information about you to preparing a little bit the interview, um,
Mm.
uh, um, I was looking some videos, and you appear in a video singing with Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
Uh, It,
Yeah, that was fun.
uh,
And I was young, I think. I was 12 or 13 or something. Not
yeah,
sure.
yeah, but through your career, you have evolved as a front woman, of course, as we were talking. What is the most important lesson you have learned about the stage presence and connecting with the audience?
Um, since I was mostly on stage than in front of stages when I was younger, I did not really understand what it is like to be in the crowd and what you expect as somebody who's in front of the stage. So I think the more I was seeing other shows, I found more the connection that we have from the crowds and what is happening on stage. And that is very, yeah, I did not really understand that before, I think. So, as I said before, I had my first band with 9 years old. So, from that time on, normally on weekends, I was on stage and not in front of the stage. So, yeah, that was a lesson that I learned that the connection is very important in how you talk to the people. And I was very, very shy person. Um, and I think there are some ways how you can be artistry. Is it the right word? Like being an artist and making that a theater kind of style that you're
Mhm.
not talking or something. That is cool too. But I'm more like a person who likes to connect by heart with the fans. So I try to talk to them. And I think I get more of the connection nowadays. And what I also learned in general in the music business is it's the most important to find people that are, yeah, believing in what you're doing and that have the same kind of fire inside of them to push it forward. And it's better to have like somebody who's not having the big arguments, but the fire, um, instead of people or labels or whatever who have the super big arguments, but not the fire to push you. So you're not really their priority, you know? So
Mhm.
that is one amazing and important thing that young bands and artists should consider.
I'm asking this because I can imagine the impact to sing in front of a huge audience, for example, because
Mm.
if I remember correctly, you played in Wacken with 20, 21 years.
Yeah, we played at Wacken in 2014 the first time, so I was 18.
18.
The f-
Come on.
I was 18. Yeah,
Come
that
on.
was funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I turned 19. Oh, I was 19 because I was turned 19 some days before. So, yeah, that was
Yeah,
it.
there's some parts of the show still right now on YouTube. We can find
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it was
We can,
crazy.
yeah, of course. We can return later to some more personal questions, but let's go with Break the Silence.
Hmm.
I always like to discuss my impressions of albums with the musicians. In this case, with Break the Silence, I think it's perfectly recognizable in the style of Beyond the Black, from the more rocking and powerful, like for example, Rising High on Break the Silence, to the melody of Ravens or songs like The Flood or Can You Hear Me or La Vie is my French is horrible, horrible.
La Vieta Cinema.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Which might surprise fans, I think. What are your feelings now that the new songs are about to be released very soon?
I think first of all, I'm very happy with everything that we just released. So there are already 5 songs, I think. Yeah. So I think people really, really like what we're
That's
doing, and it is, huh?
No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking just because that's something that we were discussing a couple of weeks ago with Nick Holmes from Paradise Lost about the releasing songs previously to the album, and half of the
Yeah.
album it's released previously to the official release of the album.
Yeah, it is, but that is the new way how
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah,
doing
yeah,
it,
yeah. Of
right?
course, of course.
It's not working the same as it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, you need to be present all the time, and I think that is giving you more. And also, it's more or better for the songs itself to release it as one by one, so they get like the attention, than releasing a whole album and then trying to get attention afterwards to the songs. I think it has, as always, both sides, but I think that is good for the songs to have more to tell before the album release. So yeah, but I still think that there are some songs that could have been singles. uh, so I think people will like the whole album and listening to everything when it comes out on January 9th, I think, yeah.
I think people who enjoy the previous album, I think can be very satisfied with the new one because it's with new elements, but it's perfectly recognizable. Tell me a little bit
Mhm.
about the collaborations with Chris Harms, Sami, and the mystery of the Bulgarian voices. Is this something you were aiming for, or something you had clear in your mind from the beginning of the album, from the beginning of the work to the album?
Yeah, I think when we were having the theme of the album and what we wanted to talk about, it was pretty clear to us that we wanted to include different languages and different cultures because when we're talking about communication, it's the whole world, right? So that was the reason why we wanted to include also different languages like Japanese, French, we Bulgarian choir, and all of that stuff. And I think we found the perfect balance of Beyond the Black and doing something more. I think it's more fresh for me,
Mhm.
having these kind of things like also this African voice that we have in Rising High. We had that first, and then trying to make a Beyond the Black song around it. And that was a new way that we were choosing this time for this album to have something, or yeah, to not do the same album again than before. And that was very inspiring for us. And yeah, and I think that all these collaborations that we have are some totally different notes. Having that deep voice of Chris from Lord of the Lost, also Asami with her very pregnant. Pregnant? No, you know what word I was trying to find. Pregnant is the German word. That's maybe why I said that word. But
It's
yeah,
in
and
German. There's some word similar to pregnant that means powerful voice or something like that.
yeah. Pregnant is like extraordinary somehow.
Okay,
I think
okay.
so. That is the right word. So she had a very powerful voice, and the choir, of course, is a totally different note as well. And yeah, I'm pretty proud of what we did with them together, especially Chris on The Art of Being Alone. When I got this one with his voice, it made this song so much better because yeah, he was bringing a new dimension to the song, and I really love when this happens.
Mhm. Now that you mention about voices, one of the things that honestly I am enjoy a lot of Beyond the Black is your voice, and the reason is because it sounds to me very natural. Now that the
Mhm.
music and in general everything is overproduced, your voice sounds natural, and
Mhm.
in all the ways because it's not. maybe a big, powerful voice like Tarja or something like that, but very natural and perfect for this music.
Hmm. Yeah, I think we found a way how to play around our, yeah, how do you say it? Um, yeah, play around my voice and around what strengths we have in the band.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Talking about the lyrics, and I'm reading from the promo info of the album. Explores themes of
Hmm.
communication, inner strength, resilience, and the urgent need to reconnect in a divided world. It's something that the world needs, as we mentioned, because if we see the news every day, I think every day it's worth. It's worth.
Hmm.
It's the kind of
Yeah.
disaster that we are going.
Mm. It is. And this is also when you're seeing the last song on our album.
Mm.
It's called Weltschmerz,
And
and this
I don't
is
understand any single word.
yeah. I thought that in Spain there is the same word for it, but because we Googled it, and we thought, okay, yeah, this word is used by a lot of languages, so we can take this one and nobody will know what languages it is. But
And
maybe it's not.
what's the meaning of the word? Because honestly, I don't know.
The meaning of the word is it is like feeling the heaviness of the world on your shoulders, but when you want to translate it directly, it's like world pain somehow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
So,
know. I don't think there's any similar word in Spanish or in Catalan. That is my
yeah.
mother tongue. At least in Catalan and Spanish, I don't know.
Okay, but yeah, we thought maybe it's the same as kindergarten. You know, the word kindergarten is used in English as well as
Okay.
kindergarten. So we thought maybe it's something like this,
Okay.
but it seems it's not. Because I talked to other people too and they didn't know the word. So, but anyways, this word or this song is very special to me. I love if songs are not screaming, I'm a single. I am like super catchy and whatever. I really love if it's more like an interesting kind of small and quiet song that wants to be discovered. Yeah.
And I think it's cool to include different languages because you have this touch of French, German, English, of course, and I think it's something that bands and artists are doing usually. Even new bands are doing and big stars. I don't know. For example, here in Catalonia, there's a lot of bands that usually are doing their albums and songs in English, but also are singing singing some of these songs in Catalan, or even a big
Mhm.
star like Rosalia, in the last album. I don't like Rosalia at all, but she sings in I don't know if it's 10 or 13 languages, including Catalan
Okay.
or a lot of different languages. It's cool.
That's cool. I love that. I was always, when I was small, I was always trying to sing other languages, even if I didn't understand. But it's a cool thing to connect with others that even, yeah, that you don't understand, but through music you can, you know? And when it comes to communication, we want to communicate with everyone, you know? We want to come closer and yeah, be together again and trying to understand each other.
What about the experience about doing an collaboration with fans in Raven's video?
Hmm. That was great. What I did not tell you till now is that we were creating like a whole story around all the music videos. So like one big movie, kind of. So we were starting with the first song and then ending with the last, when the album comes out. And we always wanted to have the center point at this Ravens choir situation. So having the Ravens together, everyone who understands through music what we're feeling the same kind of thing. And yeah, that was why we were so happy about being able to include our fans in the video as well. So they're on the audio and they are also in the video. And we recorded that at Wacken, so we could get them backstage and recording it there, and then yeah, including it in the video, and I'm so happy about it.
Mhm. Um, we mentioned previously about La Vie es un, I don't know if I'm doing correctly. Tell me a little bit about this song using French. Why French? You have some connection with it?
Yeah, I'm living near to France. So I was born here, and it's like 40 minutes from France. So it was the first language that I learned when I was in school. Not English, it was French. So yeah, I should know more more of this language if it comes to this. But and I was always thinking of this language that it's very beautiful, and it's not easy to learn. But yeah, I'm happy that this time we had the chance to include this. I remember when I was younger, in the first band, that I also had some songs in French, like Non, je ne regrette rien, and some other classical stuff. And yeah, and this time it's La vie est un cinéma.
Because you live close to the border with France,
Yes, yes, 40 minutes,
40
and then
minutes.
I'm there.
It's more or less the same for me because driving, I don't know, 1 hour, I'm in France.
Okay, but
But here I can say it. Maybe people in the Pyrenees speak a little bit of course of French, but here it's no.
But the thing is also that part of Germany where I'm living in was once part of France.
Okay, okay.
So maybe that's why we have more of the connection to France. I don't know, but
Returning to the album, which song of the album would you say represents the rawest emotional core and why? Maybe the last
which
one?
song?
Yeah,
Uh, the rawest? Is that what you want to say?
more deep, emotional, more touching for
Oh.
you.
I think The Art of Being Alone. Um, I'm not sure. I told you Weltschmerz is one of those songs that don't want to be something, so it's very special to me. But yeah, The Art of Being Alone is especially with the music video, and everything that we did around it, with the negative beliefs. I came into that room with the negative beliefs that I was choosing for myself, and it was very touching for me when I came into that room. And also a little bit of therapeutical kind of thing, because I was deleting the negative words and making these sentences to something positive. And that whole process was, um, yeah, something different for me. So I choose this one.
Okay. Two questions in one because a couple of days ago, talking of music with a friend, I mentioned that oh, in a couple of days I will talk with Jennifer. Oh, Jennifer, yeah, the from Beyond the Black. Okay, but and he asked me, but Beyond the Black is their band or a personal project of Jennifer because she starts the band, right? Yeah, and I said, right, yeah, right, she starts the band. Can you answer, my friend?
For me, it's totally a family and a band. So
Okay.
I wouldn't be able to do all of this without them. And yeah, I know, of course, there's always someone who's deciding stuff, and that's important as well. If you're having too many
Mhm.
people trying to do different directions, it will not work. But yeah, I would be lost without them in this with me on my life.
And I guess that you work the songs together, or maybe there's one member
Yes.
that composed the most part of the songs.
I'm mostly writing with Chris. And yeah, this is basically the team for songwriting, and everything else is yeah with everyone like Kai and Toby.
Okay. Um, Having been the face and the heart of Beyond the Black since you started so young, what is your personal strategy or disconnecting from the constant pressure of being a public figure and a band leader, to say in some way?
If I understood right, for me it's family that is always
Mm.
keeping me on the ground. Um, I'm also living near my family right now, because yeah, I just love that time, and it was always like my my hope somehow. And yeah, music in general, I try to have like a normal life somehow, if even
Mhm.
if I know I'm not having it. Especially when it comes to friends, it's not like the normal kind of thing, because you're always like not available. But when it comes to family, yeah, I'm having that.
Okay. And talking about touring for Break the Silence, at least at the moment, not touring Spain. And I think you played here only one time in Leyendas del Rock Festival in 24. Uh, in the last few years, it's something that is happening
Mm,
usually here in Spain. Even with bands that were coming during years, now they are not coming. I guess that the tours arriving to Spain are more expensive for North Europe bands, and promoters don't want to have the risk. But with
mm,
this next tour, you are not playing Southern Europe also. Any chance for a second leg of the tour that uh, could be possible to see you in Spain for the first time in your own tour, or Italy, or these uh, countries?
mm. We did play shows there. I think with Amaranth back then. In
Yeah.
I don't remember it, but I think two shows in Spain. But
Oh,
I
really?
think so.
As a support? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But or was it with Anchor?
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. No, well, we went, yeah, and we played there. But of course, we wanna play there. Here are our fans also in Italy. They're complaining about the tour. Um, and we try to find ways, but of course, the time is changing. We need to check out the possibilities, and that yeah, everything is working out for everyone, and we're trying, and we don't want to let you down, and yeah, hopefully we have some good news soon.
Okay. I hope you can, yeah, you can
Can you
listen
hear
because,
me?
yeah, 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 because you're a little bit frozen, but now
Okay.
it's getting better. Getting better. Okay. Um,
Oh,
just one more
okay.
question, because we have, if you have a couple of minutes more, yeah?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's fine.
okay. Um, what do you
Just the
consider your,
connection is not good right now.
yeah, 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 I think so. Who do you consider your current vocal references to be? Is there any artist who has changed the way you approach your vocal technique recently, for example?
um Do you mean like that I what I learned vocally during the years?
Or if recently you discover any technique, any singer that impress you and push you to discover new limits to your voice, for example.
It's most of the time our own songs that are challenging me. But always, it will always be the one, the icon for me is Freddie Mercury. With
Okay. Mhm.
so much freedom, of doing whatever is perfect for the word that you're singing, whatever you want to.
Okay, Jennifer, thanks for your time. Hope to see you playing here or I don't know if any show in Europe.
But
Mhm.
I think Zoom will end soon.
Oh,
So
yeah,
maybe we say
sure.
bye.
Okay. Jennifer,
Thank you
bye.
so
Thanks for your
much.
time.
Thank you so much and see you soon. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.